was very drawn to the cranial-sacral rhythm. By the way, the cranial-sacral system and rhythm is that same rhythm of the galaxy. That rhythm goes in and out. As it goes in and out, it moves cerebrospinal fluid around the spine. I first learned about still point years ago. I was practicing cranial work, and in cranial work they show you how to take the flexion extension, the in and the out of that rhythm. Same as the ocean tides. In, out, our bodies. That's why it feels so good to go to the ocean. Why? You sit there in the rhythm of the ocean. Our bodies are having that same rhythm. It's moving cerebrospinal fluid. In cranial work, they show you how to take the positive and negative and to just dissolve it into still point. Very similar to what we do when I say find that thing and just hold that neutral space. That's what you do in still point, in cranial work. You find something and you find a still point and you hold it. When I experienced that years ago, I was like, wow. For me, it was like finding a delete key on a computer. Someone has injury, cell memory, emotion. Collapse it. Information gone. Just like the cassette tape. You have the cassette, you have the information, you hit erase, flips the polarity, neutrality, information gone. It was very empowering for me. I for years was drawn to working on people and finding whatever was going on, dissolving it, neutralizing it to still point. It wasn't until some years later that I experienced the yogi who rested in still point. They lived in the space between the breath. And I said, oh yeah, that's even better. You can use it every here and there to dissolve stuff, or you can say, well, let's stop this. Let's stop creating and holding on. Let's stop holding on to stuff totally. Which is the whole still point process. Most cranial folks don't even really use it. They do the cranial rhythm for the whole session, and then they do still point for a moment. To me, I didn't do the cranial rhythm so much. I did still point the whole. The juice to me is in the still point. It's in the neutrality. You see, the cranial rhythm is the galactic state. It's the spiral. Back and forth. Positive, negative. As soon as we collapse that, it's the gateway into the universal state. That's all it is. It's a doorway into the state beyond the polarity of the galaxy. This is the spiral. All yogis, mystics, whatever practice they do, and there's lots of practices, they all describe, you can see them, the real ones, they're all sitting in this state. Light, energy, sound is exuding from them, consciousness. And they're all in the same state. They're not breathing. It's like a radio. You tune to neutrality, energy of neutrality. You see when you withdraw from the body, when you activate the body, the energy and consciousness, everything goes to neutrality. This protocol has three main points. Adrenals first, sacrum, tailbone area second, occipital ridge. And again, in each one of these areas, what are we doing? We unwind so the area goes, it gets its full range, and then it collapses into that neutral space. To me, this is the real language. Okay, all this talking on this planet, it's just a dialect of confusion. Okay, it's not the real language of the real experience. It's the distraction. The real language with the universe is, are people tight, contracted? Do they have a range so they can experience things and not hold on, the galactic state? Can they dissolve, neutralize into the universal state of love?